Shanti, Shanti. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, lead us thou, O God, from unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us. Welcome to Yoga for Health, Happiness and Liberation. Today, I just like to say I'm Bharat Kejar, and I have special guest today from India, Dr. Panibhushan Basu. Dr. Basu, he has come from India, and he is a medical doctor. But he has given up his practice to go into spirituality. His authority on Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita. So today he is going to recite the chapter 2 and explain what Lord Krishna has to give us some advice, how to be happy in this world and what is the right thing to do. So this is wonderful. I'm very happy that you have tuned in here. So let's give our pranam. Dr. Basu. Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Basu will chant mantras, the chapter 2 in Sanskrit first, and then he will explain.
In Vedic scripture, there is a shloka or a couplet. Ekam sat vipra bahudha badanti. The meaning being that there is only one absolute in the whole universe, but different sizes in the different countries and geographical locations, they name them differently. So with that primary adoration, I start to introduce Gita in the shortest way possible with my most limited capacity and knowledge. The Gita is a spiritual scripture depicting the psychic events of the battle of Kurukshetra that was fought on the Indian soil during the Vedic period and recorded in the Indian epic Mahabharata. This is a historical event that occurred at least more than 2,000 years before Christ and as admitted by both Eastern and Western scholars. Krishna, the divine and apex figure of this Gita, with as deep and vast divinity as Christ himself, guides and illumines the confused mind of Arjuna, who wants to withdraw from the battlefield, frightened by the impending horror and coming tragedies of the war. The Gita is perhaps the only scripture in the world where spirituality and divinity is taught not in a temple but on a battlefield of disaster and death. The Gita is most Catholic in the sense that you may belong to any religion or even be atheist, and yet can gather all moral values and spiritual illuminations from it. The historical battle of Mahabharata has been used as a metaphor in the Gita, depicting Arjuna as the mortal individual, the 5 brothers, that is Pandavas, as 5 sensory aids or paths. Krishna stands as the discriminatory divine consciousness, and 100 Kauravas as our innumerable enemies in life. This view is well supported by the sloka or couplet of the 13th chapter, where Krishna tells Arjuna, Idam sarira kunteya khetram ittavidiyate yatadja vetti tang prahu tadvidhi bharatarshava. If translated in English, it tells like this, O the son of Kunti, consider the body of yours as the battlefield itself. If you have understood this much, you have realized the truth of existence. Now with these words, I may have the privilege to recite the second chapter of Gita, the selected slokas, to limit them within time. Kutasthakasmalam idam visame samubasthitam Klaibbang masya gama partha naitat tatu papaddate khudrang hridaya durballang taktathishcha parantapa Dehinasmini jatha dehe kaumarang jauvanang jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namucchate na sata vidyate bhava na bhava vidyate sata Ubhayrapi drishcha antastanayat tattadarshini Jayenang vetti hantarang jaschainang mannate hatam Ubhayatau na bijanito nayam hanti na hannate Na jayate mriyate bakadaschinayang bhutta bhavita vana bhuvo Ajanitta sassatvayang purano na hannati hannamane sarire Basangsi jirnani jatha vihaya navani grinhati narva parani tatha sarirani vihaya jirna annannani sangjati navani dehi jatasya hi dhruvar mrittu dhruvar janma mritasya cha tasmat parihajya arthe nathang sachitum arhasi abhyakta dini bhutani bhyakta madhanni bharata abhyakta nidhananneva tatra ka paridevana Dukkeshu anuddigna mana, sukheshu vigata spriha, vita raga bhaya krodha sthito dhirmuru niruchyate. Jada sangharate chayam kurmayangani vasarvasa, indriyani indriyarthebha, stasya pragga pratisthita. Dhayate vishayana prungsha, sangasteshu pajayate, sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodhabhijayate, क्रोधाद भवति सम्मोह सम्मोहात स्मृति विभ्रम स्मृति भ्रंशात बुद्धिनाशात प्रणश्यति. Now please allow me to translate it in English so that I can best sum up its meaning to the listeners. Kutasthakasmalamidam. Whence has this utter confusion and fear come upon thee, this dejection which is unworthy of you, O Arjuna? Klaibbang masya gamo partha. Yield not to importance, O brave soul, it does not befit thee. Cast off the mean weakness of the heart, stand up and face the reality. Just as a living being passes through the childhood, youth and old age, so also he passes from his living body into another one after his death. The wise men do not grieve for that. What is temporary, compound or impermanent shall not last, and what is ever or eternal shall never die. The men of realization have seen through this truth and know them well. Na jayate mriyate va kadarchinnayam. The real self or soul is neither born, nor does the soul even die. Being ever present, it can never again be, nor cease to be. Unborn, eternal, changeless, and ever ancient is the inner being, and does not die even after the body is dead. Just as a man casts off his old worn-out clothes and puts on a new one, so also the inner being rejects the old worn-out body and takes up a new one for rebirth. Even otherwise, once born, one is destined to die, and after death, mortals recycles through rebirth. Therefore, nobody should grieve over the inevitable. Life is unmanifested before our birth, manifested in the middle. Life is again unmanifested after death. What is there then to grieve about? He who can stay unshaken in deepest sorrow, he who is not overwhelmed by pleasure or wealth, he who is free from attachments, fear, and anger, is the real sage who has realized truth in life. Like the tortoise that withdraws within all its limbs, the one who can withdraw his senses, temptations from sense objects, has realized wisdom in his own life. The average man runs after material objects of greed and gain. Thus attachments grow deep in him. From attachments come desire. From unfulfilled desire, anger is born. From anger arises delusion. From delusion, sense of balance and memory is lost. Therefrom grows the lack of discrimination, and the loss of power of discrimination destroys the man. I salute all beings who listened to this reading, and I salute them also who did not.
Thank you, Dr. Basu. He is here with us from India, and I thank him for coming here and enlightening us. Bhagavad Gita, the 2nd chapter, Lord Krishna gave this message so that Arjuna can function normally on the battlefield. So we are all on a battlefield of this life, and if we lose courage, we suffer. So to be happy, we should meditate. And how to meditate? And just let me explain one thing. See, a meditation sounds so simple. You sit, close your eyes, and then detach and try to meditate. It's like tennis, looks so simple. If a ball comes on this side, hit it on the other side of the net, and you have this little area, and ball has to go in that area. That's it. So simple. But it's not simple. Tennis, to learn a good game of tennis requires a lot of practice, because every time ball does not come at the same place. At the same time, on this different height level. At the same time, different speed. And you are not standing where the ball is coming. So you have to run and take your position. So look, how difficult is that game? Even so, looks so simple. So, similar way, meditation looks so simple, but it's not. Because every day you are not the same. Some day you are okay, some day you're a little down, depressed, sometimes you are all hyper, so some day you are blissed out. So you have different conditions. You cannot meditate the same way. You have to have the right attitude also. Suppose if your attitude is poor, you will not be able to meditate. And if you will not meditate, you will not enjoy the bliss. So it's very, very important that you develop this right attitude. And this is the reason Lord Krishna gave the message, and Dr. Basu just pointed out to you beautifully, and he has translated so nicely Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter. So again, let's look into, you want to be happy, right? Everybody wants to be happy. First question is, how much time have you spent? See, I just want to show you. I just want to make you aware. You are, is your happiness important to you? That's a question we are asking. And everybody knows that happiness is the most important thing. The question is, what are you doing about it? Have you done something about it, or you just remain miserable and just go on and on and on, not taking enough time to reflect? I ask you a question. Have you thought about it? How you can be happy? Or what are you doing wrong that you are not happy? Have you read about it? There are lots of books about happiness and your inner peace and so forth. Have you read about something? Have you learned about it? Have you taken some time to do it? Have you done something about it? Suppose if you're not happy and you say, well, I should do that. Have you done that? Because you have come with your own karma. And you have certain goals, subconscious goals, conscious goals. You have to know who are you, and this will happen. So question is, have you prayed about it? And have you meditated about it? So in your meditation, you make contact with your inner self. And when you will make a contact with your inner self, a lot of things will clear up. The question is why it will clear up. The question is why it will clear up. Because your Atman, your soul, is part of God. So if God knows everything, so is your soul, which is part of God, knows everything. Only thing you have not realized the truth. So truth lies within yourself. You have to make a contact with your inner self. That is meditation. Meditation is making contact with your Atman, the self. Know thyself. Atma Gnan, know thyself. Through meditation, and once you realize, then things come out very crystal clear. What you need to do to be happy. You cannot have one formula for everyone, because every one of us have gone through the life, past lives, with different goals, different way of living, and we are here now. So we have to really realize what are my